Okay guys, welcome back. So we are here today with a ranked capture the flag game at Diamond 3 at the time of this recording. And we're going to do this a little bit different today. So normally we go through the entire match and sometimes that can make the videos quite lengthy. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a special focus on preemptive thinking in CTF and how staying ahead of what's happening in the game can help you to secure a win. And so we will be skipping through parts of this match, but we will be trying to explain fully how movements and things that you do in the game can affect what will happen afterwards, as well as using information you have to make decisions that can lead you to pushing advantages and getting that victory that you want. So this is Diamond 3. This was sent in by someone from the Discord. This was sent in by Kat, one of my moderators. If you'd like your video featured on the channel, then you can do that by either submitting it using the description to vanadamesports@gmail.com, or you can send it through the Discord. You see here we're against a pre-made 4, so that means the other team will have a lot of conversation going on their side, they'll have a lot of call-outs going on. And so one of the things we want to talk about straight away is preemptively, what is the setup? If we just bring up something we've started using quite a lot here, if we bring up the shot call app, we can see that when we start off, usually what I like to do, or what I like to tell people, is that realistically, we should be sending 2 players to the rockets. The third player can either flank around this side or this side, depending which one is going. And then the last player can usually take the sniper rifle, get some information on what's happening on the other side, and then push around for the OS. And of course, this all depends what happens on your side of the map. If you lose control of rockets, then you want to be careful, because if the other team starts taking your green or coming around training like this, you want to make sure that you're not getting caught out standing in your BR area or standing sort of in the cuts area, as you will definitely get pushed back and it will allow them to get that dreaded spawn trap. So that's what we're going to say about the starting point there. And so if we move on, let's see what happens with this team. Oh, we're changing settings at the start of the match. Not a good idea. Okay, so we sent 1-person rockets. We're flanking around here. Taking the same area as a teammate is not great, but obviously with this being a choke point, sometimes you are kind of forced to do that. Here we've got an enemy behind us. You can't let them do that, but some information from earlier was that we didn't get the overshield. It's no longer on the map, and so the game is telling you that the enemy has taken the overshield, and so jumping over pit like that is quite dangerous. We know they have a sniper rifle as well, and that they're holding our first BR. So we have a few choices here, and to figure out what they are, we kind of need to wait to see where the game puts us. Notice how we have an ally on the enemy's side of the map as well. Okay, and so we've spawned top. So if we just jump back to the old shot call here, one of the things we need to consider is, because the enemy has a player sort of looking down here, and they potentially have players in this area, and I believe they had a player here as well, and we've spawned here. What we need to think about is sort of the sight lines that are available and sort of preemptively think, right, if I do X, what is going to happen? And so pushing this area is obviously suicide, because the sniper will get you. Pushing this back area is also very dangerous, and so when you're here, it's not going to be easy, but you either want to try and loop around or get into the back area and sort of push the enemy team back down this way like this. And the reason for that is because the terminal area of the map actually provides a huge amount of pressure onto your side, because it prevents enemies from crossing over the threshold to the other side of the map. And so forcing that player out of terminal allows the rest of the team to push forward. What will usually happen is you'll end up with a fight with someone on tower here, maybe someone holding cuts here, and you will receive a lot of fire from the top of the map, but ultimately what you're trying to do is get the spawns down in this area so you can move down there. And yes, there is a spawn in that area, something I have missed in videos in recent uploads. So there is a spawn area down there. It does get used, though this guy being down on the terminal here will more likely force you to spawn in that area just there. Back to the game. And so we're pushing forward, which was really risky because you're going to get sniped. And that guy's actually moved to S2. And so one of the things that you want to be thinking of whenever you're in a game is, what angles am I giving myself out to here? Where am I standing? And so here straight away, we know there's a sniper over here, and we know that he's not died yet. So we need to be very careful. I would have probably gone the other way here. Okay, he's moved back to terminal unless they have 2 sniper rifles. Okay, now we are moving back, so this is good. So now we can start systematically taking back the base. Unfortunate for the teammate. The other teammate crouching in the base there's not great. Okay, now because we're starting to kill the enemies, now we have a decision point where it's like, okay, we have numbers now. And in your head, you want to be thinking, we have numbers. Where can we go that will give us the advantage against the other team? Unfortunately, they were behind them. But you can see that they realize that the numbers are there and they start to collapse. And they get the kills. So we actually get a flag reset there. Now, again, you want to be thinking, in this scenario, and I know we're going very heavy with shot call again, but it is really important that we understand exactly what is going on. So we have 2 allies. We have 2 allies on the long haul. We have ourselves spawning down here. And I believe we had another ally here somewhere. So based on our positioning, there isn't really a bias to where the enemies are going to spawn. But we need to think of a few things. If the teammates at the top of the map start fighting, that indicates they got a top spawn. If the teammate on training starts fighting, that indicates that they got a mid spawn. And we need to use that information to decide what we're going to do next. The strongest thing for the player to do right now as they're at the bottom is to slowly push up to the center of the map to gain ground to see what information there is. Because as soon as you take this area here, you can openly tell your teammates if the area in the red box is available to be pushed. And you can crossfire it as well. And this is really, really, really underrated. It is one of the most important things on this map. So let's see what the player does. Good, listening to gunfire, taking the side. I would have stayed terminal here. I get how you want to help your teammate. But you could have taken these shots from terminal as well. We got 3 down. Right, we've got a huge advantage here. We've covered spawn locks on the map before. We need to get our ass into the enemy's flag. And because the player that submitted the video is closest, they should have gone. We're wasting time here. 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds. That guy's on his own. He should just get absolutely collapsed. And we've blocked top side, so they're all going to be bottom side. So we want to hold green without overcommitting. This is good. We want to try and regen. Move forwards. Brilliant. And we're wasting time here. If we die but we get the flagpole, it's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter. And we sort of want to start thinking about now, when a flagpole's failed, you want to just accept that the flagpole's failed. And so when you're respawning, you want to be thinking, how is my opponent going to preemptively try to push my side of the base? And the current setup we have, we're leaving the bottom of the map very, very open. We did get rockets though, and you can see there's a lot of deaths. So we've got numbers up on this side again. We want to take some power positions, block the top spawns. They're all going to spawn bottom. The rocket launcher player should be waiting for that and not in cuts. He only got 1 kill and he potentially could have got 2 or even 3. And now he's dead. So that's the type of preemptive thinking we're actually thinking about in these games. The rockets are very, very powerful, and sometimes it's best to not use them to have pressure later. Okay, we need to kill this player. You have shields and he doesn't. You should have gone in there. He didn't have shields, so you let the fight reset. And then you lose because the fight resets. Okay, the enemy team has your flag at this point. They're taking it onto the bottom side. So wherever you spawn, you know 2 of them are top. And so you want to push around to the bottom side. We did secure the flag. It's being contested. No, do you hear that sound? Is it the type of stuff that players don't pick up on? You can't. Do you hear that? You can't see the player, but you can hear the little ping noise. That implies the flag's being contested. And again, did it twice. So you need to listen for things like this, because that is telling you there's a player down there. What are we going to do? Another mistake that was made here, just went a little too far back there, is the guy that can be shot from here, you didn't need to hard commit to the bottom, and in fact you can shoot him all the way till he gets to sort of either this door or like here. And so if you preemptively know the guy may do this, you could hop onto the stairs and curb slide off the other side to meet him. So following him down here was a mistake. Additionally, it means that if there were enemies in that area and you follow them down, you've just hard committed and there is literally no escape whatsoever. I mean, I know if you curb slide the mid, there's also no escape either, but here there is definitely no escape. You ain't getting away. There's no cover whatsoever. That's just a little tidbit there. You don't over chase people. Think about where they're going to go as you're following them, and then prepare yourself for that angle. And unfortunately, we get sniped around the corner. Enemy team doing a nice little bit and switched that as well, played by them. Nobody picking up on the fact you just died bottom in snipe though, so that's another issue. If an ally dies, you want to check what the weapon is, and you want to see where the sound came from. Like the S7 is a loud gun, and you can hear where it's been shot from. And so no one on your team was really thinking that that sound came from there. So that's another thing with environment that people really need to pick up on. Where did the sound come from? Okay, so we got the trade, that's fine. The only issue is that they had the flag and they scored it. Match is staying in even tempo right now. Let's see where we spawn. Some preemptive thinking. We've got 3 players top, we've got 1 player bottom. We're looking at first BR. Those 2 guys are covering each other, they're fine. You're getting sniped from the right hand side. You were a little further forward than what you thought, but I like the use of the wall. They're dead, you're now down. You need to play your life. What are you going to do? You are staying back, that's good. Virtual teammates are up. See, you have to be careful here, because if you turn around to attack S2, you can now get shot in the back. There you go. So that's the sort of preemptive thinking that you have to have. If I take this fight, where on my team is now no longer being watched. And in this case, there was something that Eli the Ninja said, who's a very good coach. He coaches for G1 and he coached Above Average Coder, if you know his channel recently. And one of the things he said was, you need to imagine what all the other people on your team can see. And you need to imagine the parts that you can't see. And you need to figure out if you need to look at it or not. And that's the same here. When you turned around, no one was looking long haul, no one's looking green, and you left them completely open. And the other team is pushing. They have someone S2. They're in push mode. And so it was guaranteed someone was going to push that. And some people like to call it halo timing, but you know for a fact, as soon as you walk past that angle, he's coming for you. He gets killed though. It's just something to be aware of. And the other team are making a big mistake here. They're pushing when they don't have the advantage. And so if you keep pushing now, you're just going to kill them all. You had the advantage as 2 people there. You should have just pushed him. And now we're at the point where the game's reset again, and you're kind of overcommitted here. Okay, we got rockets again. The other team is really not. Get those rockets. You've got to prioritize rockets. Okay, let's have a look at a flagpole. So one of the issues I have with this is that we've big time hard committed too far forwards. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Again, by going to the good old shot call. So we've got someone here. We've got someone here. We've got someone in here. Actually, were they there? I think they were there actually. And we've got yourself over here. This is an issue because it gives you a. If I just put the potential spawn points of where the enemies can spawn, I want to explain why this is an issue. They're not really like to spawn here. So first, let's just rule some out. So they're not going to spawn here, so that's fine. They may spawn here, but it's unlikely. They're more likely to spawn maybe at the bottom with this setup. But essentially, if they spawn here, they can go into terminal and no one can do anything. They can push up pit and no one can do anything. They can take S2 and no one can do anything. So when you've taken the flag like this, you want to really make sure with your team that the setup that you're taking looks something more like this. Because what it means is that you now have the ability to crossfire all the spawns with 3 players. And additionally, just get rid of all this scribble once again. Additionally, another thing that this gives you the ability to do is it gives you the ability to retreat. All of these players have somewhere that they can retreat to. Yeah? None of these players are stood in the open. Being where you are here, you're behind enemy lines in all of these scenarios. And essentially, if the enemy's line is here, and you're on it / behind it, your main line is sort of here. In CTF, you always want to try and get it so the enemy line is behind the flag, not in front of it. And that's where in Aquarius you see people move the enemy to like the fridge and things like that. Okay, let's carry on. Do we get the flagpole? See how we overcommitted, so they had too much time. Yeah, and then that was, unfortunately, that's known as a desperate flagpole. One of the things you don't want to do, story of your life, where as soon as this guy died here, look at the death feed. 2 players on your team are dead. and none of the other players are dead. And if you touch the flag, you're dead, and then they can push you. So again, I never watch these videos, but I'm going to hazard a guess that this player dying here causes the other team to pull the flag in about 30 seconds time because of the pressure that they get. Because now all the momentum is on the opposite team's side. Let's just skip forward a little bit. Have they got the momentum and pushed onto your side of the map? There's one guy. They have momentum big time. You have a player on their side, but... Okay, you get him. Good. But this is the thing. So a better team would have pushed up together there, and they would have got momentum onto your side of the map. A full team wipe in CTF is catastrophic failure. It is very dangerous. It essentially pushes... it pushes the match forward a phase. So one of the things we've not talked about before is sort of phases in CTF. Phase 1 is sort of the push and the initial slay. So the first push is like the team wipe and the slay. The second is where you check or you pull. And the third is where you actually pull and run. Yeah? Sometimes this step has a check step again, where you may have to slay depending where the enemy team has spawned. And so you want to be careful when you get full team wipes, because essentially what you're doing is you're giving the enemy team a free pass on those steps. You're giving them a free accelerate on those steps. Yeah? Kill them, push. Pull the flag if you can. If you can't, kill them again. Yeah, then pull the flag. Then run the flag. Do you have to kill them again? Drop the flag and kill them. Then run the flag. You always want to prioritize slaying first. And we've been saying it a lot on the stream. And even people have been saying in the stream, hashtag slay first. Yeah? People do not slay first ever. Yeah? At lower ranks. Happens all the time in Onyx. Oddball games run to the timer all the time. Low diamond and platinum, never. I like the holding of the angle here. You may be overextended a little. You can see team fire on your left there, but you can't do anything about it. You are moving into an open area here, though. You should have stayed first BR. Look how open you are now. There's 2 people around you. You should have died for this. That guy's absolutely oblivious to the fact that you're shooting. Don't be that player. You should have definitely died for that. They're moving back. You've got momentum. They're weak. Rockets and overshield are coming up. Good pick here. Very important pick. You get rockets now. So again, preemptive thinking here. We have the rocket launcher. 2 of their players are now dead. Push the hell out of them. Advance on the 3-step thing that we just said. We need to be go, go, go. We need to go. We need to block spawns. We need to force bottom. Yeah, clear them out. We used 1 rocket. We got 1 left. Your team's pushed up. Oh. How many bullets did you have in your BR there? I think you used... Did you use 2 bursts? 3 bursts? Yeah, you didn't need to reload there. So another thing quickly is serial reloading. So 27 bullets is 9 bursts. That's at least 1 kill. If you can't get 1 kill with 27, the other guy's strafing his ass off and you need to get in the range. Let's go forward a bit. Oh, there's a flagpole here. Let's have a look. We've skipped an additional death here afterwards. So the player respawns, they get cleaned up by the overshield. Yeah, they've got S2. Preemptive thinking, defend S2. Are we going to hold first BR? This is good. Holding first BR is good because we've got a lot of pressure around the top. Your team, you need to ping though. You're not pinging. Because the team doesn't know that the overshield's on you if you don't ping it. And I think that was the issue there. Maybe you were saying it in chat, but it's not coming through in the recording. So I shouldn't have died with OS. A bit of quiet time. Take some land. Take some territory. I like this push to S2. This is good. You can go up S2. Don't push along mid. Get the height advantage. You're sitting duck down here. Bit of right stick aim. A little bit twitchy there. Let's have a look. What happened? I think you tried to correct. Missed it. To 40... 42? Yeah. 0.5? Have a look. Is that twitch correct? You right stick aim there. That little correct. Yeah. If you do not right stick corrected there, you would have killed him. So this is another thing. We're going to do some more stuff on controller and keyboard aim soon, but you really needed to... You overcorrected. You doubted yourself. And ultimately, it made you miss 2 shots, so you got killed. That's unfortunate. That confidence in rotation is difficult, though. I appreciate on controller with aim assist still. Corrections can be difficult. Practice shooting friendly bots. No aim assist on those. That'll train you up real good. Okay, so they have numbers again. Are we going to suicide push for the flag? I like the covering fire here. That guy's just contesting. This is good. So contesting is good, but he stood in it for so long he could have just touched it. Touch it and drop it. No, he tried to run with it. I would have just touched and dropped, and even then I probably wouldn't have picked it up anyway. So now we've given the enemy team opportunity to push back. You know that they're in long haul. What are you going to do? Okay. Judging by the fact of how long's left on this video, I think we might get an overtime. What are they doing? What's the enemy team doing with the flag here? And then we'll skip. They're all sniping you out. This guy's... That was bad. He desperated the flag. So he did what you did twice. I don't think returning the flag when it's on top of stage like that is really needed. I think the fact that your team is alive gives you enough pressure. Flags don't always need to be returned. Yeah? And in fact, getting the flag from stage is a lot harder than getting it from your base, in my opinion. It's a lot more suicidal. But the other team is doing full suicide on your flag right now. Right, we got momentum push. Oh, they had rockets, actually. Ooh, triple kill from them. And you clean him up. Good, good. See, that is the sort of flag you do have to return with pressure. But the one on stage, you don't. Does anything happen for the rest of this? No. So let's go to overtime. Let's see how the team starts this time. We've already talked about round starts. What happens? Okay, we've got 2 going to rockets. You can make that jump without the clamber, and you should practice it. I would have thrown my grenades already here. Yeah, what you want to do? Did a YouTube short on it. I will show you exactly where you throw those nades. Right, let's pause here. When I push this, I throw 1 nade here, and then I throw 1 nade here once I'm stood like sort of here. Yeah, and it causes the nades to meet at the same place, so whoever stood there gets obliterated. And it usually hits the guy, it usually hits the player who stands like here. Because there's usually 2 players. Okay, this guy is being very useless right now. Because he's not pushing anything. He's not doing anything, like he needs to go. He needs to go and get the flank. Because if he got the flank, this guy would have died. The guy that's over here would have died. And you would have known if there was someone over here as well. You need to be quick with that. And the guy dies anyway, but... Okay, we're listening. That was a waste of a rocket, but he's dead. Could have just shot him with the BR. You need to waste this if you think you're going to die. There was he? I think we saw that guy. I feel like this was like a... Maybe you need to change the colours on your monitor or something, but I think you can see this guy. Yeah. You want to be... when you come through here, you want to sort of look in this area, then look in this area, and then look in that area. And I feel like you just kind of looked... See how you did it? You did the 2-step sweep, but then you didn't do the 3rd step. Crosshair placement stuff. Another set of stuff I want to do videos on. Video's getting very long. Okay, if we win the game, this is amazing. Right, don't desperate the flag. Where are people? Give covering fire. Okay, that guy's not a threat. He's now low. Back up. Play your life as much as you can. You need to reset. That was a grenade. There's a guy in green. You walked past him. So that was information that was given but not used. Here, look. This guy here. So, this guy here, he was stood here. And you go around the corner. and he's not there anymore, there's only one place he can be, because if he was down here, he'd be getting shot and you'd see the bullet trails. So this is using the information the game gives you. You even look to see if he's there, and he shoots. You see that? The guy he shot around. Listen. The guy just shot around and he just ran straight past him. Just information that the game gives you, you need to use it. If you don't cap this flag, that death may have lost you the game. Because now he's just killed 2 people. He kills, yeah. He just got 3, he got 2 kills and an assist. Now the team's going to push you, and they should be pushing out and fanning out top and green to prevent you from getting any space. That drop shield was a bit poor. You should have thrown that further out. They're just flying at you. This is a good challenge. That other guy should take the initiative and get him. Yeah, that's good. Now you've got a bit more pressure to get them out. Preemptive thinking. I need to move forward. Where are they? Okay, this is fine. Maybe not at the bottom of the stairs, though. You're asking to get naded. You want to get back. Okay, teammates get him. That's good. Right, this is another thing. We've got momentum again. We should be thinking, is now the time to pull the flag? It absolutely is. That guy just died. Move up, slay. No. Failed push. Hopefully your teammate can take the tower, but you definitely want to wait. And so one of the things that sort of happens as you play Halo more is you get this feeling of things are taking too long, the enemies respawned. Like, you sort of get this internal clock in your head of roughly how long 10 seconds is. And in this instance, this player didn't really have that, and they didn't consider the fact that because they'd been stood there for like 12 seconds, they'd given the team time to respawn and move. Okay, so the enemy does get a push from this. So they're playing their life. They're not desperate in the flag. Notice how they're dropping the flag and fighting. This is good. Slay first. They're getting the kills. Getting the pressure. That guy did well. He shouldn't have climbed back up like that. And once you get past that threshold on this map, this guy's a pointless fight. You should have just ran down S2 and down down Overshield. Because this guy doesn't have the flag, right? That was a fight that you didn't have to take. I think they're going to score from that. Yeah. Ooh, go on, Slim Shady. Pull that flag. Massive. Judging by the video, I think they score it. Yeah, so now we need to be laying on damage very heavily onto the other team. And they can score it. So, just the last thing there. Alright, let's watch what you do. Why not just stay here? Why drop down? This is fine. This is fine. You can see them. You don't need to chase it. They need to get the flag. Yeah? The flag's obviously in here. So, I mean, I know you're trying to grab it, but you didn't even need to really fight them. They could have just gone cuts as well, to be fair. But it's unfortunate. Do we get a scoreboard? Would very much like a scoreboard, thank you. No. Oh, maybe we do. No, we don't. Okay, so what can we take away from this? So, round starts are really important, and you need to practice round starts. Getting the clamber on the ledge that's down here on pit in diamond, not acceptable. You need to jump over and make sure you can get it. Second thing, managing power-ups. You got rockets a lot, but the other team got overshield a lot, but rockets is more important on this map. Third thing, push momentum when you have it. A common thing at diamond and platinum is that players have advantages and they don't push them. So remember, in CTF, the 3 steps: slay out, check, pull. If you can't pull, slay again. Yeah. So do step 1 and step 2. If you can't do step 3, then do step 1 again. Yeah. Never ever just run at the flag. That unless you have camo and you have a flank, or you have a flank altogether and the enemy team is away. So there are scenarios where you can pull the flag, but you can't just run and pull it when the enemy knows that you're there. Because as soon as you pull that flag, you've literally got the big sign above your head saying, "Kill me, please." Yeah. They know you've pulled it, and if you don't run into them, they know you're on the other side. Yeah? So there's that. And use the information that the game gives to you. So there's a few instances in this video where the player had an enemy come up behind them, or they switched angle, or there was a gunshot that went off and they didn't really react to it. So either the headset's not loud enough, the directional sound's not on, or you're just not like listening for it. But other than that, you know, there was some good moments with your aim. You use ADS a lot, which is good. And just try to not overcorrect too much with right stick. Yeah. But you were changing settings at the start, so I'm assuming that may have been something to do with the fact that I was there and played on your PC before you played this match. I do remember very well, and I play inverted on controller, and you don't, so I'll apologise for that. But anyway, I'll cut the video there. It's 30 minutes. I said I was going to make it a short one. Guess I lied. Sorry. Thank you for all the support on the channel so far. We're on 1,030 subs now. It's amazing. We've got the 1,000 sub special stream coming up soon in Easter, and I hope to see a lot of you there. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave a like. So this has been Vanadam. See you in the next one.